With us today is Captain Abhishesh Pandey, First Officer in Vistara Airlines. Hi, Captain. Welcome to the aviators.in. Hope you are doing great. We could start with a short and sweet introduction for our viewers. Let us know your designation, current airline serving, industry experience, and your hometown.
Hello viewers, my name is Abhishesh and I fly for Vistara. I'm a first officer flying on 320s. Before this, I was in SpiceJet for about a couple of years where I was on 737s. I basically am from UP, but I've been born and raised in Mumbai.
How was the journey to the cockpit? When did you realize you want to fly?
Well, journey into cockpit has been really a long one. I started my training in 2007, completed in 2008. Thereafter, the market crashed and I was out of job for about 7 years. After I got into SpiceJet, and now I'm here in Vistara. Talking about the other question that you posed me, how did I know that I want to be here? Well, you always want something that you never can achieve, like your crush. You always have a crush on someone whom you can never get. Similarly, for me, flying was a crush. I didn't enter an aircraft or even an airport till the time I was going for my flying training. I always used to look at the planes as a small light in the sky, and I used to always be like, oh, I want to be here. And given my humble background, I wasn't very sure if I'll be able to achieve it, but yeah, I did a lot of things in order to achieve this, and I'm really happy to be here.
Okay, so how do you feel working for India's only 5-star rated airline? How good is Vistara in terms of employee relation management?
Vistara, India's only 5-star airlines. I'm proud to be a part of it. With Vistara, the standards have been really high. I mean, if you talk about the safety, you talk about training, you talk about customer service. I believe Vistara has set a very really high standards. And it's good to be a part of that team. Vistara, if you see, is a venture between Tata Group and Singapore Airlines. Both have been amazing forerunners in their respective field, and that just shows. I mean, they are very clear with what they want to achieve. They are really clear with the policies that they have, the employee satisfaction, and everything is just there. And I believe that we are still at a very nascent stage. About say 5 years, 10 years down the line, I believe that Vistara will be a force to reckon with. I think we will be one of the best airlines in Asia, if not the world.
As an aviation geek, what is your reaction on the new Vistara Dreamliner? What sectors can we expect it to fly onto?
Dreamliner, it's a beauty of an aircraft. I mean, it's really pretty, and especially in Vistara livery, it's really pretty. And not just the outside, the aircraft is really pretty from inside. It's very well designed, and I really wish that I fly it very soon. About the routes, I think what the company might go with is say Delhi Heathrow, Bombay Heathrow, say Delhi Sydney, Delhi Guangzhou, Delhi Tokyo, and so on and so forth.
How do you see safety in aviation? Adding the current situations, how difficult is it for an operator to fly during this pandemic? What major difficulties were faced, particularly for Vistara?
Well, safety and security are the two basic pillars of the airlines. I mean, customer service is really important, but I still believe that safety and security comes before customer service. So I think that's what is the regard for safety in the aviation sector. In pandemic, it has become a little dicey to fly, meaning, see, you can only take care of passengers once they walk inside the airport. You can try to do social distancing, you can give them masks, you can give them PPEs, but that will all be taken care of once they're inside the airport and once inside the aircraft. but we don't know what are they carrying once they're outside. We don't know if they are corona positive while they're entering the airport. And we have seen certain cases that has happened in recent time. In last a week or so that we have started flying again, we already have 7-8 cases. And not just the passengers, they are also interacting with cabin crew. Cabin crew is interacting with pilots, and pilots are interacting with ground service. So overall, this from passenger to cabin crew to pilots to ground staff, all of us are getting affected in a way. I still believe that less the contact with the passengers. I still believe that aviation as a sector is safe, is pretty safe. If you see most modern airliners like Airbus 320, they have HEPA filters. What it does is it filters out 99% of the viruses, bacteria, and the circulation is so fast that a person getting infected by the breathing of someone who is say 2 rows, 3 rows back, I think the chances are really less. As of course we all have to take care of ourselves. We all have to ensure that you are safe. If you are safe, then others will be safe. The biggest challenge I see that Vistara is having is by the business flyers. I mean, the entire nation is just standstill. We all are at home. No one wants to fly, and that is what the biggest problem is. No company is sending their employees to any other place. No one wants to travel at the moment. No leisure travel. I think that has created a huge financial gap. I'm really hoping that this will all end very soon and we'll all be in a better boat.
Now this is what I was waiting for. This is a rapid fire round. Let's begin, Captain. Your favorite airport to fly to, one international and one domestic destination.
Domestic, I would say Port Blair, beautiful place to go. International, I would say Dubai and Singapore.
Okay, so now your favorite aircraft, Diamond DA-40 versus Cessna 172.
I haven't flown Diamond, I'm really sorry. So I would go with Cessna 172, and I think Cessna are best for training.
What's the toughest sector to fly with Vistara?
Srinagar. I mean, high terrain all around. The type of approach that you get, Srinagar.
Okay, Captain, here is the last question. As most of our viewers would be aspiring pilots, what message would you like to give them? How can their passion help them fly and build wings for themselves and the industry? What kind of early preparation you suggest to start from?
Well, aviation is a really huge sector to talk about. So I will just keep it towards the air side of it, meaning not the corporate job. So for air side, I believe that these are all specialized skills. Be it a pilot, be it a cabin crew, be it a ground staff, wherein you have AMEs, you have loaders, you have security, and so on and so forth. So while you choose what kind of profession that you want to get into, the first and foremost thing I believe is to getting information about it. So when I did my pilot's training, I was really not into era when you had a high-speed internet, and there were not so many websites giving out information. There were not many Facebook groups to discuss. We all found the information traditional way. We just went and spoke to someone. Okay, so what do we do? How do I go about it? What books do we need to read? And even the DGC website was a little haphazard at that point of time, so there was no clarity of how to proceed, what things to do, what things not to do, pros and cons. But I think today is freely available. There's a website called PP Rune. There are Facebook groups, Ghost Aviators. There are a lot of things available in the market. So I believe one should really go into these websites, read about it, understand what they talk about, and go to another website, compare with what they have come to know from one website to another. Maybe there are some things which are common, something that they know about more. And after you're done with all this, after you're done with all the basic research, you can always post question in the communities like Facebook groups, or if you know someone, a friend of a friend whom you can ask. But I would really recommend that you ask them your doubts rather than asking them अच्छा मुझे क्या करना है, अच्छा मुझे क्या करना चाहिए. See, that is a question that you have to answer yourself. That is your aim in the life, I believe, that you should follow. But having said that, it's good to go to someone and ask about it, but do a research before that. See, when you say about passion, passion is really important with whatever you do. Be it aviation, be it simple cooking that you do for a hobby, right? But I believe everything requires a lot of hard work. So no matter what you do, never stop working hard. See, as a pilot, people think that okay, so now I have a job. I just go sit there, do my flying, come back home, done. No, many people will be surprised to know that we read about 2 to 3,000 pages every 6 months in order to clear our exams, in order to clear our recurring checks, in order to do our sims. So always be in a habit of reading, always be in a habit of acquiring knowledge, and that is what is going to take you through. And take it from a guy who has waited for 7 years for a job. It's not an easy field to get into. It's a really amazing field to be in, but you have to put in a lot of efforts to get into it. So as I said, do your research, go on Facebook groups, go on to websites, Google it, find out information, go to DGC website. It's quite clean these days. Then come back to your personal touch, ask some questions. I think that should be enough. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your experience, Captain. This will definitely help our viewers.